engagement. What does that mean? And for us, it was really about like spending time. And I'll give you my like definition of engagement for us was really spending time with, at some learning activity, in this case exhibits, with attention focused on the learning materials provided. So that for us was like the basic set. Spending time with attention focused on the learning materials provided. People really vote with their feet in informal environments. And so just looking at whether people are spending time and focusing their attention on something in informals, I think, is a pretty strong indicator of engagement. We also add the word active. So we say active engagement, and there we're adding to engagement. We're saying we want people to author the experience for themselves in some way, to self-direct the experience, which means doing things according to their own interests and desires, not just following a set of instructions that's been laid out by the museum. So there, we do add other assessments. I think Aceveto's point about having multiple methods for trying to get at engagement is really strong, and we do that ourselves. So we'll do like audio and video recordings of people and try to look at what kinds of questions are they asking at the exhibit, and how do they answer those questions? Do they turn to the authority of the label and just say like, oh, okay, the label's going to tell me what the right answer is? Or do they use the exhibit to try to answer their questions? Do they turn to the other people in their group and talk about the question in order to try to answer it? So sort of looking to themselves rather than looking to the authority of the museum. So that's active engagement for us. So that's in addition to just spending time and having a focused gaze of attention, or even just manipulating the exhibit. So we wanted to sort of think about what does learning really look like in the Tinkering Studio, and we created this learning dimensions framework. And one of the dimensions in that framework was engagement. And there, we still had the time aspect of it, so this behavioral assessment, essentially, of holding time, and participating in the activities. So, doing all kinds of things, playing around, making things, exploring materials, trying something over and over. All that would be considered engagement. But also, in this project, we kind of added the emotional dimension of engagements, like being emotionally invested. And so the way we looked for that was, displaying emotions that looked like, to us, pride, joy, disappointment even, or frustration. Those also could be indicators of engagement for us. And then another big one was that a lot of times people will, either at an exhibit or in the Tinkering Studio, will sort of finish with whatever it is they're doing, and they'll kind of like look up, and they'll come out of whatever, maybe it's a flow state that they were in, and they kind of look around. And for us, like, major engagement would be then going back into the activity and doing something else. So that would be a wonderful indicator of like a high level of engagement. And then in a more recent project, the Exhibit Designs for Girls Engagement, EDGE project, which was led by Tony Danstep and Veronica Garcia-Luis, they developed an observational scale for engagement that had 3 different levels, and that was adapted from Tessa Van Schindel's exploratory behavior scale and Chantal Barrio's tool for looking at engagement at exhibits in museums for evaluation. And it basically had these 3 levels. The first level was initiation, the second level was focus, and the third level was breakthrough.